Digital fashion, two things makes you a part of other creators. One of them is texturing, the other one is lighting. So if you are into texturing and you are exhausted of applying boring CLO3D materials and texturing, this video is right for you. I start from the beginning and I try to be as beginner friendly as I can. And for the first step, let's get into this digital fashion piece that I made. This is a little puffer jacket and a skirt. So what I did, there are so many things we need to do, and one of them is, as always, take care of our patterns. They have to be nice and tidy and super clean. So patterns are not this tidy. You need to manage to get them sorted. So first, let's get them sorted and keep them as tidy as we can. Long story short, this is what we should do. We should take care of our patterns, and if we have more than one materials, that means that we need to keep all the patterns which belong to one material, click them on, select them all, and then set it to one fabric. The color doesn't matter, it's only for illustration purpose. And so this is the trims that I need to be different materials, different textures, as well as the sketch. So this is for our 2D pattern. And let's jump into UV editor section. And also in UV editor section, as you all may notice, the patterns are not quite right. So right click and let's click on reset UV to the arrangement. Each colors in one cluster. It's worth to know that the size matters a lot. Like if you put loads of patterns with a small sizes in one cluster, the quality would be decreased, and that's not what you want. So if you think you are going too small on the patterns, so maybe it's better if you put them in two clusters. Another thing you want to take care of in the UV editor is for the clusters to be completely organized and not even hit the lines. This is very important because we don't get good UVs. Also, we want to check if any patterns go over another patterns. Okay, it seems everything's okay, so Control S on your keyboard, and then we can go to the file and export as an OBJ. Let's put the file name here, and that one is, don't forget to subscribe me as I'm very small YouTube channel. I need motivation. So this is what we need to do. We want to have all the patterns, but we don't need the avatars. That's completely up to you if you want to have graphics and trims. I want to check it to thick and unified UV coordinates. You can, and we don't need this, and you want to set this to centimeter dash, and okay. I want to split my screen to two windows. It's easier for me this way. Let's just drag and drop the OBJ file. Okay, here on the template, it's very important when you want to take it afterward. So if you want to take it to Blender, it should set to Blender. Otherwise, you can set it to anything else. I usually go with the PB or metallic roughness, and I want to set this to 2048, and that's all. We hit OK. If there is no problem with the UVs, it's gonna load here. If it doesn't load and you can see red warning over here, just read it. Is probably regarding to the UVs. And okay, right here, it's very easy if this is your first time for Substance Painter. So basically you have two kind of materials. The first one, these are the materials right here. We have materials and smart materials. So materials right here, it has only, let me just drag and drop it for you guys to see. If we go over here to layers, we can see that the material with that we just drag and drop, it has only one layer, and that's it. But if we delete this and go to the smart materials, drag and drop just this one,
It comes with a folder.
and it has loads of things. You can also delete or disable them. That's the difference. But before we want to apply any materials here, we need to go bake the UVs. So that's what we're gonna do. We're going to the texture set setting, and right here you may see the bake mesh maps. On the left, you can see there's a list of materials that you brought with yourself to from CLO3D to Substance, and that's all we have. Let's bake selected textures. It takes a while. It depends on your computer and how complicated is your 3D garment. So give it a time, and when it's done, we can return to painting mode. Let me just take this moment and ask you guys, can you please share this video to anyone that you think they may need it? And don't forget to subscribe and like the video. So over here, let's go to return to painting mode. And right now everything's baked, so we can go and select all materials. If you are not completely satisfied with the materials and textures over here, you can also drag and drop your own texture. And if you don't know anything about that, I can drop a video about that, and please, if you need it, just drop a comment. What I wanted to do is I want to give this a kind of plastic puffer jacket. So let me just look. One more thing, don't care about the colors, just care about the texture, the materials, because each colors we can change that. So for example I like the texture but I don't like the green color. So let's go. You can also search here for plastic, for anything you're looking for in the smart materials. This is good. Plastic soft. So I just drag and drop. So look, as soon as I drag and I pass any patterns, they're gonna change. And that's why we separate the UVs. So if I drop it just right here, only these patterns would get it, and if I drop it here, these patterns would get it. That's why we separated our UVs. So if you think you didn't do the right thing, just go back to CLO, make your UV right, and get back here again. So this is where I'm gonna drop it because I want it just right here. It comes with stains and scratches. So let's go to the layers. In the layers, usually when it comes to smart materials, I don't just go with it. I try to make some changes. For example, if the dirt is too much for me, or I don't like the color, this is the color, I just click on the color and then go to the um, properties field, and right here I can change the color, as you see. That's why I'm telling you, don't care about the colors if you don't like them, and Control Z on your keyboard perfectly make it undo. So I'm very happy with the color and everything. But let's go to the layers and see what feels, or just try to navigate, try to experience, make new things. And one more thing that it may give you a reason to navigate more stuff, navigate more texture, is that when I'm torn between two options, I disable the first one, go with the second one. For example, if I'm torn between this one or this material, and then I look at it, okay, let's see which one's best. That's how you can manage to do so. So I don't like this, so click on it and delete. Over here it also have some roughness stain. And another thing that gives the smart materials gives you the option to be more in control is this orange things here. So if you click on them, there are usually a filter, a mask, a gradient. There's some things always going on, and you can always keep changing of them to get your desired result. You can also disable them, right click on them, and add generator, any paint, any fill. If you're not into this, you don't know what I'm talking about, that's completely okay. We're talking about it later. Okay, I also prefer to not have the dirt on it. So this is my first layer. Usually each material is coming with one layer, and we don't need that layer. So you can either keep it or delete it. And then I'm gonna go with another material. It can be something more, probably this one. But I want to change the color. This one, let me click on it, go to the properties field. I want to change the color. Or you can use the color picker, probably a little. Okay, this is how you can navigate through the Substance Painter. You can scroll, zoom in, zoom out, and you can hold shift and right click to change the color, to change the light rotation. You can also change the light rotation over here on the display setting. There are loads of environment map you can have. And another thing, if you want to rotate this, you can hold Alt at your keyboard and left click. Substance Painter is not only about texturing, you can also give it some customized logo, some customized writing, anything on it. This is very interesting thing, but for that purpose, we need to just go to the UVs, and from the list, we need to find the texture for the garment. If you are not completely sure which materials are which, you can simply disable them, and then you may find it. Okay, this is the material. I found it. This is the UV that we already set in CLO. Now, what we can do, we can go to our layers, keep them tidy. Just click on the latest texture, and then click on fill layer, and then you can right click, go to add a black mask, and again right click and paint. What black mask does, anything that you put in black mask would be appear. So black mask, it's a very nice way of applying a logo or anything customized on the texture garment. The reason that I put fill over here, it's because we're not sure about the color, and afterwards we can decide it and we can think. But if you already decide, we can do this. We can, for example, we can go to the material section, drop this, and then right click, black mask, and right click at paint. So anything we put here in the black mask in the paint, anything we add here comes up, popping up with this texture. If you are not sure about the texture, just like here, add a fill layer. Okay, let me go with this material because it gives us loads of things to learn. And go back to the fabric denim, to the mask, and to the paint. Click on it and then go to the properties paint again. So right here, we want to set this to UV. So the difference between these three is that they are applying it in three different ways. So you need to try three of us. And camera mode is also good, but not as useful as you think. I mostly go with the UV because it sets it much more appropriately, precise, and it's completely uniform. But there are times that when you click on tangent planner, it doesn't look right. It's kind of stretching and it doesn't show well. So, and I'm going with the texture. Okay, right now we have our alpha from the things that already provided in Substance Painter. There are loads of things. For example, if I want to go with the caution, I just grab and drop it in the grayscale. This is the size you want to take care of, and this is the spacing you want to set it to 0, and let's try on it. So if I do it right here, you can see it's popping out, it's coming out of the garment. If it's not completely there, you can delete the alpha and only have it in grayscale. And to manage all textures, the texture that we just set here, the denim fabric, and in the tiling I want to make it very small. So this is for the texturing purpose. This is warning. But let's go and try also with this one, the one that we already add with the add fill layer, and then right click black mask, and then right click add paint. Let me go here again, go to the properties paint. In the grayscale, let's go and try again, drop this to grayscale and delete the alpha. Okay, this is the one that it has only color, and that color is white. So we need to go to properties fill You can change the base color. It's very easy. You can do it this easily. If you want to add anything else, like if you have any normal map and a height map, just go and drag and drop it. If not, we can go to the material mode. For example, this one, the leather one. Some of these materials also has different presets, so probably you also want to check them out. You can give it height as easy as this. It pops out, it doesn't need any map. It generates by itself. And one very important thing you want to know about is that if you add this one and now you want to change it, for example, you want to change the placement, there is no such a thing. That's the game. So be careful with where you want to put it. I applied the textures and now it's time to apply some stitches. The stitches in the garment, you know, it's very important. That's the part that um, give a realism to the fabric and the garment. So for that, you need to find your UV. For example, I want to apply my stitches on the skirt, so I choose the UV for skirt and go to layer, choose the last layer, click on it and apply add layer. Then go to the pen over here and search for the stitches. There are loads of stitches here you can choose from, but I usually go for this one. I'm gonna apply this on the UV. It's more precise, but before that I wanna click on the layer, go to the properties paint and set this to UV. Okay, and I'm gonna start from here. This is the trick. If you want to be super precise and careful and super straight, you need to click on it and then hold shift and then click again. So here you can see your stitches coming off. If you think your stitches are not appropriate for the garment and they are super big, maybe you can change the size over here. How about if we set it to 89? Let's try again and see if it's fit or not. Now how about if we add some, hold shift, left click, hold shift, left click, hold shift, left click. You can go and do it on the 3D viewport. Again, click, hold shift, click. So this is it. Now it's time to export. We did everything. We want to go to the file and export textures. We don't need to export mesh. We already have mesh. Let's export the textures, and over here with the materials, I don't need these materials. I only need 3 fabrics. It's okay. In the output directory, you can click on it and you can select where you want to have the materials. The output template is very important. For example, if you want to take it to Blender, you need to choose Blender here, but I'm using PBR metallic roughness. You don't need to make any changes on the rest. Let's go to output template. Again, here you need to choose which software you want to take it. I'm gonna go with PBR metallic roughness and RGBA if you have any transparency if you're in your garment. List of exports and then hit export. You don't need actually to do anything else but save this. I'm gonna head over back to the CLO. Okay, this is my project in CLO. Now I have everything that I wanted. I'm going to select each fabrics and then apply the maps. So I choose the first one. First one is the main puffet. I'm going with start with, just click on it and go to the textures. This is main puffer, base color, open. And another thing that you want to do is texture mapping should set to unified. And now we need to go choose the normal map. This is the normal map. How about the displacement map? Displacement map or height map are the same. Okay, this is the outcome of the textures that I just applied from Substance Painter. One important tip is that if, do you remember at the first I applied the colors for illustration purpose to see what UVs, where should it go? Now it seems that I still have them on, and in order to showcase the texture we need to set the colors to white.
And then apply the base color texture again.
It has the opacity on the front and back, and we can also see the um, graphics and writings over here. We have everything right, and if you think it was more glossy or it was more metallic, you can also change it right here. Let me go to the, we can also control the normal map, make it more intense, or just keep it at 10 where it's default. And you can also change the opacity. That's completely up to you. You can change anything you want. This is end of the video, but not end of this tutorial, because afterward I'm gonna take this to Unreal Engine. So if you are in it, check out my new video. See you on the next one.